Biniou has a whole bunch of modules for text, image, audio, video, and 3D. Each module has an About section with details of the module, a Settings section with options for that module, and on the bottom there is an option to move the output generated from this module over to a different module to make workflows easier. If I were to go through and show each module, this video would probably become many hours long. Instead, I will just go straight to the installation process to get this running on your local machine. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, you can install the CUDA Toolkit version 12.1. I will leave a link to this page. Download and install it from here to be able to utilize CUDA during inference. Once that is installed, you can install Biniou from this GitHub page. Make sure to check out the wiki. It has a great level of detail for each and every module, things like examples, consideration for the required RAM, and other detailed and very useful information for each module. Definitely give this a look, especially if you have trouble using any module. The prerequisites are a 64-bit CPU, 8 GB RAM, and at least 30 GB of disk space. And the recommended is 16 GB or more of RAM and a whopping 200 GB of disk space if you want to use the default model for each module. The installation process will install Git, Python, OpenSSL, Visual Studio Build Tools, Visual C++ redistributable, and FFmpeg automatically, along with the Windows 10 and Windows 11 SDK. It mentions that it is a lot of changes on your operating system, and that this could potentially bring unwanted behavior on your system, depending on which software is already installed on it. You can install this in a virtual machine if you wish. This is the command file for the installation that you can download and run to install. You can first open it in an editor to modify the installation path, like I will. I'm going to set it to install in the C drive in a folder called AI. Save and close. Then you can right-click and run as administrator to avoid having to press yes on each window that would pop up for each of the prerequisite installations if you were to just double-click it instead of running as administrator. And that is it. That is the installation process. This will take a while to install all the things. Once it finishes, it will say press any key to continue. Find the any key on your keyboard and press the any key. Now, if I go to that AI folder I specified in the install file, I will have this folder in it. I can double-click the webui command file to launch the application. And this is the link to the webui that we can copy-paste to the browser. On the first run in our local system, it will give a certificate warning that I'm going to proceed past to get to the web UI. For any module in the application, the first time you run it, it will first download the model before beginning inference, and it will store the models in the models folders that will be in the same folder as that web UI command file. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the global settings and log in with the username Biniou and password Biniou. This is so that I can enable the CUDA optimizations. Click the login and then go to the webui control tab. For optimization type, I'm going to select CUDA and then click Update Biniou. It will take some time for it to update. Once that finishes, do the same for the Llama CPP Python backend. And when that finishes, just restart the application by closing the browser and stopping the server from that command prompt by pressing Ctrl-C multiple times. Then just double-click that same web UI command file to relaunch, and you should be all set. And that is all. This application collects a lot of useful modules together in one place and makes it easy to move the generated output over to other modules to simplify any workflow that requires using the output from one module as input for another. Anyways, I just wanted to share this application with you all as I found it to be useful. Enjoy!